thank you, welcome. And so, therefore, fellow Africans, this morning I am once again delighted to present to you our 28th episode of the Change for African campaign. And being on Wednesday, obvious, we speak about our third pillar of the Change for African campaign, and that is the resources that we own in Africa. And so, therefore, fellow Africans, still with respect to what we had spoken before about that this week we'll be focusing on the roles of the AUC chairperson and all the new delegates that were elected, that they were newly elected in office on Saturday at the AUC headquarters in Addis Ababa. And so therefore, today being about resources in Africa, one of the roles of this commission is to make sure that is what we call mobilizing of resources. It's responsible also for mobilizing resources for Africa. And so we have very diverse ways in which resources can be mobilized, in terms of financial resources, human resource, of which we have a lot of it. We have all these things, and so we also have ways in which these resources can be created. And one of the ways it is out of our minerals, because we do have a lot of minerals, and what our minerals the resource that our minerals can create then can result into financial resources, whereby in Africa we have a lot of this. And so what I'm urging this that the very thing that these guys should do is to make sure to take priority of our diverse resources in Africa, because in Africa we have very immense resources all the way from the north to the south, east to the west, and the central part of Africa. We have immense resources, both human resource and the mineral resources. In every field we have all of these. So the very thing that the new commission, I'm urging them that they should do, if indeed they understand what is needed for Africa, and with respect to what they call the Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, let us make sure that on the issue of resource mobilization, the issue of Africa's immense resources is put at the front. Let us see on ways in which these 54 sovereign states of Africa can be responsible in their countries to make sure that the issues to do with the corruption in the resource, in the mineral industries or mining industries, because these resources are mined, when you speak about the natural resources, these are mined resources. The issue to do with this, they should make sure that for example, of the Eastern DRC, there's an issue of insecurity. So also, one of the things before we even harness the potential of our resource is to make sure that we foster peace and security in regions that are highly affected by this, because regions like Eastern DRC, these are regions with very immense resources. These are regions that are very rich of minerals, and the reasons as to why even people are fighting here is to try and make sure that they destabilize the region and continue to steal resourses in those atmospheres, because once there's no peace, it means that maybe people to be there to perturb that people are stealing our resources. They will not be there, because they have created that atmosphere to be that way, so that the stealing of resources, the immense resources in Eastern DRC can proceed. And so one of the things that he also needs to do is to foster security in those regions, to make sure that now the government can come into place, implement strategic interventions to make sure that the resources can be mined, and then put up the required infrastructure to refine our own resources, and also, if possible, produce our own devices that they are created from those resources, because those are raw materials for our industries, of which most of these raw materials currently are exported to foreign countries, and then the countries manufacture the devices from our resources and then bring them back. So one of the very things that I'm urging us, out of not speaking many things, is to make sure that the new commission take advantage of the Africa's resources. We have immense of it, so take advantage of it, make Africa rely on its own, make our resources count, that we have them and they can be of help to us as an African continent. And so therefore, fellow Africans, I do not want to go past that this morning, but the very thing that I'm urging all of us, that we are calling this now to those who are there, but then we as the youth, the thing will remain to civilize all of us, to understand that that like on Wednesday you speak about resources. So the very thing we do is to make sure that we understand we have the resources. But then if the existing systems we will continue to speak about this, maybe if they do not understand it this time, it is not still bad not to understand. I love people maybe who do not understand things sometimes, because I know there is time that people will come who will understand. And so who are these people? These people are the youth of Africa. Let us make sure that we are there to this, and see on how we can be part of making Africa be revolutionized to a greater continent, because the current state of Africa does not display our full potential as an African continent. So let us try, come together, unite, make Africa great, because Africa is a land of great potential. So unity will drive us to this. So all the 54 sovereign states of Africa need to have a youth representatives actually, who come together, discuss African issues, and make Africa put Africa to the global stages, because Africa is a land of great potential, and the governance is the software of development. So therefore, fellow Africans, I wish you kind of like a great day. Have a good afternoon. God bless you, and let's meet tomorrow probably as we discuss our fourth pillar of the Change for African campaign, which is the living standards that our people are living in Africa. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.